All right, skipping the niceties, just hopping straight on since I'm already, 20 minutes late? 15 minutes late. All right, not quite 20 minutes, but almost. Hi, people. Sorry that I'm late. Usually I'm home in about, uh, an hour earlier than this. But yeah, just stuff. Stuff kept me from getting home on time. Okay. Well, hope everybody is having a good day. And that if you have, if you're in the States, hope you had a good 4th of July. Hope you still have all your fingers and you haven't burned anything down. Um, or if you have burned something down, hope you didn't care about what you burned down. uh, I had some ideas for tonight, but I have not got anything set up. So I guess we're just kind of playing by ear. Pineapple donuts. I want pineapple donuts now. Um, Wait, what? Just a headline come across my screen here. UN to meet on Sweden Quran burning stunt decried by Muslim world. I would think the UN doesn't have better things to do with their time. Apparently not. The Human Rights Council holds an urgent meeting on the burning of Quran outside a mosque. Okay. Well, I guess there's no real human rights violations going on in the world. I'm glad that that's all been solved. The human trafficking, slavery. Yeah, oh, that's a great thing. Yay. And yes, yeah, yeah, Virgo. Uh, I'm going to be eating once I'm done hanging out with you guys. Let's see. Ankara is holding up Sweden's application for NATO membership on accusations that the Nordic nation harbors people Turkey considers terrorists. Well, meanwhile, Turkey is harboring people that a lot of Swedes consider terrorists, as in real terrorists. Da, 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 Huh, interesting. I like vodka cream sauce. Goes good with spaghetti noodles and meatballs. Anyhow, I guess in case someone has something interesting to talk about, since I am still floundering around here, we'll do an invite, we'll do a copy, and we'll do a paste. If somebody wants to come up and say something sensible to the people, since my plans are not existing at the moment. Uh, I did see another headline that I thought was interesting that I wanted to talk about. I can pull up the article. But yes, I just put a link there in the chat if anybody wants to come up and say hi to everybody. And let's see, I need to fix this. Oh, everybody's coming up. Virgo. Hello, Virgo. Hello, Dan.
Something sensible, and have a great night. Good night, all.
Yes. And that is probably the most insightful thing that you will hear tonight, people. Thanks for coming. Hello, Dan. How are you doing?
I'm doing all right. Enjoying celebrating the end of the colonial problem.
Yeah. I saw you had the 4th of July Tea Party. I only got a chance to pop in for a couple minutes. So saw you running Reagan's speech, Gorbachev tear down this wall.
Yeah.
And I think that was about the only chance I got to stop in. Well, no, I was there at the very beginning, and then I was there during the Reagan thing, and then all hell broke loose.
I'm trying to remember what else we had. JFK reading the Declaration of Independence, which I thought was kind of cool. Having a US president actually reading the damn thing. At least one of them's actually read it.
Oh, Liz, Gary, hello, everybody. I guess I should say hello. Yeah, Virgo Wraith, Virgo Wraith? Yeah, Virgo Wraith, not Wrath. I keep calling him Virgo Wrath. Is one of the great philosophers and performers of our time. But yeah, I think I mentioned this on your stream that actually I just realized I have two sets of friends who do this. Well, one's a relative. They have all is forgiven parties on 4th of July. And so they can have British friends over. Yeah, so same sort of thing. But unfortunately, the waterboarding never ends, so I have to work on 4th of July.
Just give them little American flags whilst you're doing it.
Yeah. Oh my. But yeah, where was that? They found some article. They found mysterious substance at the White House.
It was Geritol.
Probably. Let's see. Oh my God, who is this guy? Oh, Terry Crews. Wow. Well, I'll show you the ultimate patriot here. I blew up the picture, and it's even funnier big than it was small. Let's see here. Present or present, I guess. There we go. The ultimate in patriotic fashion.
Okay. Maybe they're going to film a new Idiocracy.
Oh.
And people used to think that film was far-fetched.
That actually is another one of those things that I need to get around to see. I heard it's fun.
It used to be fun. Now it's depressing because it's like, here's where we'll be in 30 years.
And we're there.
You might possibly live long enough to see this.
What, you don't like that as a fashion statement, Carrie? Let's see, where did that go?
Technically, an illegal fashion statement.
Well, it's not an American flag.
Nope, but it's illegal.
How is it illegal? Oh, he's wearing the presidential seal? Maybe that's illegal. Yeah. Yeah, the presidential seal. Yeah, that's true. That would be... Unless, of course, he's...
Unless he was gifted it by the President of the United States, it's illegal.
Or he's, the president. I mean, stranger things have happened in the United States, I guess.
Well, you elected Trump.
Yeah. Well, and we followed up with Biden, so yeah.
No, that wasn't you elected Biden. That was just you de-elected Trump.
But here is that article, and it's shocking. And I don't think it's as mysterious as they're presenting it. Let's see. Hearty mix of Dutch farmhand and Pacific Northwest sensibilities. Oh, Virgo, you're from my part of the world? If I knew that, I'd forgotten. Let's see. Yeah, I've lived longer here than anywhere else in my life, so I can now say I am from the Pacific Northwest. Share screen.
No, you just reside in the Pacific Northwest.
Well, I mean, I have lived here now for since 1998. So it's longer than anywhere else. So I don't know where I'd say I'm from otherwise.
Where you're from, wherever you were born.
Well, I never actually lived there. Because when I was a little kid, we lived in a place called Lake Havasu City, which at the time wasn't really a city. It was just where they were building the London Bridge and the McCullough plant. And there was like a little sheriff's substation, and that was it. So I was born in Bakersfield, California, because that was the nearest hospital.
Yeah, but you'd be from that city, the place that your parents resided at the time of birth.
Yeah, that would be Lake Havasu. Let's see. So here, Secret Service.
God, you're Californian. That explains a lot.
Well, Lake Havasu is in Arizona, so. But I was born in California, and actually I lived in. No, hang on. God, I've got my own story wrong. I was actually born in California. That's right. God, I am more tired than I thought. Yeah, born in California. We moved to Lake Havasu City. Born in Long Beach, California. Now I'm doxing myself big time.
See, this definitely explains a shit ton of things. These Californian people.
Yeah. All right. Here.
Damn liberal.
So here it is. The U.S. Secret Service on Tuesday said that it was investigating a, quote, unknown item found inside the White House complex on Sunday that sources said was described in radio traffic as a cocaine-like substance. On Sunday evening, the White House complex went into precautionary closure as officers from the Secret Service uniformed division investigated an unknown item found inside a work area, Secret Service spokesperson Anthony Guglielmi said in a statement. And there it is. There's the White House. Fire department was called to evaluate and quickly determined the item to be non-hazardous. It was sent for further evaluation, and an investigation is underway. Sources told ABC News radio traffic from DC Fire and EMS described a powdery cocaine-like substance found on the White House grounds and the preliminary test results from initial field test. We have results on the inaudible, a voice on traffic can be heard saying. We have a yellow bar stating cocaine hydrochloride. Hunter Biden was quoted as saying, "Where's my Coke? Oh, crap." I made that part up, but that's the explanation of the mystery, if you ask me.
I was going to pass this jobs bill, then I got high.
Yeah. Powder was found in the West Wing area of the White House, multiple law enforcement sources told ABC News. And then the rest of it is just the usual. We can't talk about ongoing explanations. investigations. Cocaine hydrochloride can be used as an anesthetic to control bleeding, but it's also considered to have effects similar to crack cocaine. So says the National Library of Medicine, National Center for Biotechnology Information. So there's something that you now know. President Joe Biden was at Camp David at the time, but where was Hunter? That's what we all want to know.
Shock news. Someone in the White House is on coke.
Oh, there's a poll. Do you think the Secret Service is more or less competent now than it was 5 years ago? Who the hell knows?
I'd say the same. The president's not dead.
Yeah.
It's kind of one of their major jobs.
Oh, you got it. Oh, now. In next year, how likely are you to open a banking account? Somewhat unlikely. I got plenty of them. I have no idea what they're asking me now. Oh, Pop-Tarts. Never bought Eggos. Never bought Pop-Tarts. Oh, Rice Krispie Treats. More than a year ago. What is RX bars? Inquiring minds want to know.
No idea.
So never purchased those.
Pringles.
Oh, that's probably within the last 12 months. No, it's more a little bit over a year ago. Cheez-It. More than a year ago. Next.
Why are Pringles like virgins?
Something about popping the lid, I think, but popping the seal? I don't know. Why?
One pop and you can't stop.
Okay, I was close. How likely are to consider these brands next time I shop for groceries? Didn't I just say I don't buy Pop-Tarts? I don't have a toaster.
Oh, come on. You know you'd consider Rice Krispie Treats.
Well, I guess I would. No, I like them, but I'd never pay for them. I'd only eat other people's Rice Krispie Treats. RX bars, never heard of it. Pringles, I might consider. Cheez-It, yeah, would not consider. No real reason other than I don't eat it. Eggo, again, no toaster.
What the hell is Eggo?
It is sort of a waffle thing. It's like frozen waffles.
Okay.
That you put in the toaster, and then you have no longer frozen waffles.
That sounds truly horrendous.
Actually, I think I've had them, but again, not in many, many years because I don't have a toaster.
So you get these things, you put them in your toaster, you eat them, and then you die of food poisoning. Got you.
Yeah. Well, 100% of the people that took that poll, which is probably just me, think that Secret Service is 100 times more competent because now I've got all kinds of viruses on my computer. Although I would hope that ABC doesn't put viruses on my machine, but who knows?
Probably has.
Let's see. All right, so Hunter Biden's lost cocaine has been found. I repeat, Hunter Biden's lost cocaine has been found.
I'm still trying to understand why Republicans care so much about Hunter Biden.
I don't know. It's funny. I care about him because I don't like Joe Biden.
Yeah, but why care about Hunter Biden? He hasn't been elected to jack shit.
Oh, that is true.
And do you really think none of the adult relations of every other president that's ever been made money off their relation being a president?
Oh, God, yes. Oh, yeah.
Do you not think there were 1,001 companies that gave them directorships on their companies in the hope that it might make the president look favorably at them?
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Free vacations, all kinds of stuff. I mean, that's how power works.
Yeah. So can we stop pretending that it works somehow different because it's Hunter Biden?
Well, isn't it Lunchbox Joe? The man of the man of the people, the man who's incorruptible, etc., etc.
He might be. What the hell's that got to do with his son? Well, they're not the same person.
No, but
Charlie Manson's parents, by all accounts, were really nice people.
But there is the fellow, I forget his name, Charlie something, who's saying that Biden was also involved in getting a percentage of the take. So who knows? Virgo's back.
What? A U.S. politician was on the take? How's that even remotely a headline? It would be more a headline if you could find me one that wasn't.
Well, again, Lunchbox Joe is supposedly that one. But I hate him because he's a liar. That's why I hate him, because he lied about me and millions of others.
Politician.
Yeah. Virgo, what's up?
I mean, I have to come barging in just to agree with, like, hashtag all politicians seem to be completely corrupt. Here's my perspective. If you've been drafted into a position of leadership, I respect you. But if you had to go, like, champion your ship, go run for a position and say, hey, vote for me, do this, like, I'm not so sure I want to vote for you because you're kind of already corrupted. Why can't we get back to the days of, like, hey, yeah, you've been drafted to run for this position for the next 6 months, go solve it, come back, and then you can resume the duties of your own whatever. Like,
oh, you mean the time when the people in the back room smoking cigars used to pick who'd be the next presidential candidates?
Well, them maybe, but also, like, when you got told you have to go represent your county because you're the only person able to, and you show up, you do your due diligence, you vote the ways you should, and then you return home and be like, I'm done with this shit, moving on. Like, why can't we do that in our modern day politics? That's my 2 cents.
Yeah, professional
because you decided you like democracy.
That's fair enough.
I don't know if democracy...
Although the guys in the smoking who used to just smoke cigars and hide in the back rooms actually did a far better job of picking your presidential candidates than having a democratic system has.
Well, I don't know. I still think the candidates are picked by the people in the back room. Except now they're using vape pens and snorting coke lines.
Oh no, the candidates are not picked like that anymore.
Not by the parties, definitely. It seems.
No,
it's all mass media and bullshit.
If the parties could have had who they wanted, you'd have never have had Trump.
Oh my God, I can't even. So I do consider myself conservative, deeply conservative, religious. To a point. I'm not a hard stickler. I respect all to that extent. But why did we get Trump? What the fuck? He's a Cheeto. I don't even... I can't even explain that. He's not my choice, to be fair. And here's the point that I want to make to the group. I may be conservative, white, liberal, blah, 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 Washingtonian. It doesn't paint all of us in the same light to be considered of those who would support those who restrict our rights, are not representative of our whole. It's frustrating. Our democracy and our representative groupings of communities and organizations and people are more than just what we see on the headline news. Headline news is what gets clicks and views. Mm-hmm. It's not about who we are and what we are. And that is why I so very much cherish and enjoy channels who will bring me the perspective of a local group or organization, a community, a history of the organization, the history of a people. So anyway, all that to say, thank you, Dan, for being a voice amongst the many, and I love you all. Have a good night.
Well, in any minute, we're going to have people pop up and say that, how dare you comment on U.S. politics, you damn foreigner, you.
Yeah, I know. It's awesome, good fun to be...
Yeah. No, I throw rocks at both sides.
Yep. The biggest problem the U.S. has is one piece of legislation. Citizens fucking United.
Yeah.
The one that legalized corruption.
Oh, wait. Liz has something to say here that's important. You can microwave Pop-Tarts. Well, maybe I'll get a box and experiment that with the microwave at work rather than the one here at home.
I'd experiment getting someone else to eat them.
Well, that too.
Because literally, if that goes a little bit the wrong way, you just handed somebody a bread cake-like substance with molten magma in the middle of it.
Pick someone I don't like at work and say, here, try this.
Yeah.
Or we'll do that instead of the waterboarding. Such a big thing. The U.S. not voting, yet voting isn't compulsory.
Give it time, it will be.
Yeah.
And it's a good thing. You do have a option on where compulsory voting is for either what you call a spoilt ballot or just you click it and it's protest vote. So you're not actually voting for any of the individuals. You're just filling your card in and that's it.
Well, I have a habit of writing myself in when there's no candidates that I like. Or if there's a person that I think is ridiculous but has no chance of winning, I'll write that person in the hopes that, or I'll vote for that person if they're actually on the ballot in the hopes that they'll show up in the percentages. I did that many, many years ago when a weirdo from Idaho was running for president, a fellow by the name of Bo Greitz. And yeah, I got him to show up in the Utah numbers. There's enough that voted for him that he actually showed up. But yeah, he was as I recall, him a little bit of a right-wing nut job. Although maybe now he'd be considered.
Probably he's at least a centrist by now.
Not a nut job, just a regular guy.
Yeah, but he's also probably a centrist by now. Think about it. Reagan wouldn't be a Republican today. His policies would be considered far too liberal.
Well, Reagan
would have all the Republicans calling him a commie.
Reagan wouldn't be a Democrat either. I mean, he started out as a Democrat and ended up as a Republican, as I recall.
Yeah, he'd be a Democrat by now in terms of policies. It's how far U.S. politics has swung to the right. The U.S. has never been as right-wing as it is today.
So let's see. Is Bill Greitz even still around? Now I'm curious about this. Of the many things nobody cares about, is Bo Greitz still around? And who was Bo Greitz?
Mind you, if you go back to every Republican before Reagan, not one of them would be allowed to be a member of the Republican Party now. Teddy Roosevelt would be considered a left-wing eco-terrorist. As daft as that sounds, but by the modern-day Republican Party, that's what he would be.
I'm not sure about an eco-terrorist, but...
Oh, yeah. definitely he wanted to stop all these capitalist companies from taking our land and destroying it. Yeah, he'd be an eco-terrorist as far as they were concerned. Environmental. Whoa.
Well, that
terrible.
Maybe.
Oh, and he used the antitrust laws to break up the monopolies.
Yeah.
He would be far too left-wing for modern-day Republicans.
Yeah.
Ike would get complained at for not being war hawkish enough by modern Republicans. Because, he didn't want to nuke China. So, therefore, he was terrible.
Foreigner bad-mouthing my party. Jeez.
Your party sucks. Get over it. It's all right. The other party sucks and all.
Wait. We had a sex party at our ballets?
No, on the ballots. In Australia, they had a sex party on the ballot.
And you didn't vote them in office?
Oh, okay. But, yeah. Figured that had to be some sort of typo. Maybe. I wasn't sure. It's Australia. You don't know what happens down there.
It's not real.
But yeah, the Democratic Party's no better. Just think about it, with how corrupt and evil the Republican Party is, but the Democrats can't fucking beat them?
Well,
just the level of incompetence there must be not to be able to beat these idiots.
Right.
Well, they had decent candidates, but they put Joe Biden up.
Yeah, no, I wasn't talking about that. Democrats managed to lose an election to Marjorie Taylor Greene.
Oh.
Yeah, but
Lauren Boebert.
Okay, but Lauren
Jim Jordan.
Okay, Lauren Boebert and Lauren Boebert is the baffling one to me in that group. In Georgia, anyone whose name has Republican after it is going to win that race. So,
kind of like anybody with a D behind it is going to win in Washington State.
But
basically, let's see.
Yeah, but think about them. You've got one of them who's slightly to the right of the KKK, Marjorie Taylor Greene. You've got one of them, Lauren Boebert, who's a sex worker. She was an escort. And you've got Jim Jordan, who covered up child abuse. They still managed to win against Democrats.
Well, who are they running against? I guess that would be something to look at.
Yeah, that's the problem.
All right, there's nothing as funny in his background as I was hoping there would be.
Is he alive or dead?
Who, Bo Gritz? Oh, he's alive. He is currently living in Nevada. He was a lieutenant colonel in the U.S. military. And he's written some books, including, wow, his slogan was God, Guns, and I guess it's Grits, so Gritz. Maybe I've been mispronouncing his name. Well, let's see. Oh, I thought that would have like a robot voice telling me how to pronounce it, but I guess not. It just tells me what those symbols mean. That's no fun. Okay, well, but he's 89. Well, I guess he could run for president again at 89 or 84. Sorry.
Between the two current candidates, yes, he could.
Yeah.
Hey, to be fair, there's only one current candidate.
Well, I thought Biden and Trump had both announced.
Trump may have announced. It doesn't mean he's going to be the candidate.
All right. Well, he can always run on an independent ticket. Actually, there's a whole bunch of people that have announced their candidacy.
Yeah, I'm not sure how running as an independent from a federal prison works.
Well, what's his name? Tiger Joe or Joe Tiger?
Tiger King.
Who?
The Tiger King.
The Tiger King.
Yeah,
he's
Joe Exotic.
He's running for president. Joe Exotic, yes. He's running from prison.
Yeah, and he'll probably get as many votes as he did last time.
Ooh, an Australian news source from 23 hours ago. That'd be today, right? Because they're in the future. So this is up to date, 100% up to date news about Joe Exotic from the homeland of Kerry. So, do you have any advice for presidential candidates who might end up in federal prison? I ask Joseph Exotic Moldano Passage. That's one hell of a name. Of Tiger King fame in a recent point of view. Or should I say, I can't. We need to have Kerry come up here and read these quotes. You know what? Trump ought to stop bashing the Mexicans. The Mexicans too bad on the border crisis stuff down there. When he gets in here, he's going to be outnumbered. He's going to find out they're going to be his best friends, Exotic says. And he better stock up on Big Macs because they don't serve that shit in here.
What gets me is Trump is thinking he's still a major political candidate when Joe Exotic and them are dumping on him. Right. Your career's done.
Right.
After claiming he'd spent 2.5 years in solitary confinement, Exotic was recently released back into the general population. With the death of the Unabomber Ted Kaczynski in June, I had no idea. Exotic may be the most famous person currently serving federal prison time. Last year, he underwent treatment for prostate cancer. I guess I shouldn't laugh, sorry. He's currently incarcerated at the Fort Worth Federal Medical Center in Texas. Since November, he's been on the wait list for a bladder biopsy and so on and so forth, because they're afraid his cancer may have spread. That might be more harmful to his candidacy than being in prison. Although I'd be his vice president.
Well, funny you should mention that. Cap has a question for you in the side chat.
Yeah. So, well, I just announced that I'm going to run on. If they'll have me, I'll run as Joe Exotic's vice president because he's not going to last out the 4-year term.
Yeah, but I somehow doubt yours and his political ideas match up.
I don't even know what his political ideas are.
Left.
Let's see.
And then left a bit.
Let's see.
When it comes to animal welfare, then it's very, 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 don't ask.
Oh, he should have, and your silence, Virgo, if you were trying to talk.
Yeah, I was just going to say that the Green River Killer is probably still more popular in terms of those who have some sort of background of being horrible murderers of amazing people over Joe Exotic, who has tigers.
Yeah,
and did some very disturbing things with said tigers.
I mean, yes, he did disturbing things, but so did the Green River Killer, and he's still in jail. So there's that.
Mind you, if you're talking about famous prisoners, of course, there's a huge new one on the internet.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, why is my Joe Exotic screen not moving over here?
Husband.
I've been scrolling down the Joe Exotic thing, and it hasn't been moving on the screen. Am I frozen?
But what they said though is Joe Exotic's federal prison, right? The Green River Killer, Reaper's husband, those are state prisoners.
Are they?
Yes.
Ah. Yeah, but Reaper's husband now, major internet celebrity, apparently. I mean,
the
there are
thing with the
whole
Green River Killer,
channels.
though, is he keeps trading locations of his buried victims for cable channels.
Yeah.
I'm not even joking. I have literally been involved in the searches on the locations he's been giving up. And you know what we find? Elk bones.
Right.
Yeah, it's not even real.
Yeah, and they still... with that guy, I'm getting this sort of the image of Lucy and the football with Charlie Brown. That the last couple of times, maybe even longer back, it's been after this, because it's twice now at least that he hasn't remembered properly.
I have personally been involved in 6 different searches at 6 different locations where he has perhaps not remembered correctly things, and that we found bones that were animals. They're not human. We've had the anthropologist out and everything. It's embarrassing, dude. If you're going to imagine things in the middle of nowhere, like at least get your locations accurate. That's all I'm gonna say.
Were those bones buried though, or were they just? Because I'm wondering
it's
whether
funny though. Like we would
plan.
encounter elk bones and other like hunting related. Like obviously this was an animal carcass that was hunted and the meat was cut away, and then like they would dig a foot deep pit, put all the stuff into it, and then bury it. Like these were legitimate hunters doing legitimate things to protect their environment and keep the animals down. And then the Green River Killer's like, oh yeah, off of exit whatever, off of I-90, you should go check out this thing. We're like, yeah, no, we scoured that whole area. We went 3 feet deep. All we found was animal bones. You're wrong. Try again.
I'm just wondering if he was setting it up
before
he was locked up, and he's just having fun.
He's constantly trying to gain favor, and the prosecutors, the deputies, the investigators, the detectives, none of them give him any ounce of actual respect. But we will investigate every single effort that he gives us, telling us a possible location, until we prove it into the ground that it is not. And suck it, dude.
Yeah, but he's the one having fun. He's just yanking people's chains.
Well, if he was to consider having fun from his jail cell with no cable channels, fun. Good job, I guess. Like I'm having fun. I'm getting to go out into the wild. I'm getting to get joined into an actual evidence search to find actual evidence and help actual detectives who have a well-known, respectable historical history of finding his evidence. And we're like, yeah, nope, it's hunting grounds. This is a way station. This is like a pull off from a rest stop. Like this is nothing. You're wrong, dude. Try again. Yeah, it's fun.
Yeah.
Hey, Cap, I have a question for that. Would that be called facts? You're looking for facts?
A mainstream Democrat? Although I've seen Joe Exotic with a quote here. Somebody should tell Chile de Castro to get in touch with him, because here's a quote. They kidnap you and lock you up in solitary where you have no access to phones or emails or anything else, and they read every letter that comes in and out of there, so they know exactly what you're saying. So they know how to fight you in court, and you've got a chance in hell of winning in this system. With Trump, if they're going to get him in on something, okay. Then he goes on about how, first of all, the federal government has 98% conviction rate. They think Russia is bad with 99% conviction rate. Hell, America is just crooked, and it's just as crooked and corrupt. So I think I'd have to step aside. I wouldn't. De Castro would make a far better VP candidate for Exotic than I would.
Hey, Joe Exotic has better taste than to pick De Castro.
I mean, it's hard to argue in De Castro's favor, but I will I will toss this out for consideration. The number of Native American, indigenous peoples, missing people that we have in our communities, both here in Washington State as well as like nationwide, is abhorrent. Mm-hmm. And there are organizations with law enforcement and legitimate search teams who are working towards finding these missing people, and they get a millionth of the screen time as someone as stupid as Joe Exotic or Jose de Castro. It's obnoxious. We spend hundreds of thousands of hours volunteering to go look for these people, and someone like Chili or Joe Exotic gets way more YouTube clicks than we will ever be able to potentially get. And they will earn way more money just in the ad revenue alone than the nonprofits who are actually looking for these missing people legitimately with local government as actually organized nonprofits. They will get 1/10 cent of what YouTube will ever see. Mm-hmm. And to me, that is the abhorrent part of this, is that there are real people out there giving up their time, their effort, their energy, looking for the lost and missing. The people who we would all give everything we have to make sure they came home, and yet Chili will go on a YouTube rant about some cop somewhere and will get more views and clicks and bait than the real people will deserve. And that to me is the sad part of this.
Actually, what surprised me this past year, I guess it shouldn't surprise me, but it kind of drove home to me at least, how little the institutional media or whatever out there cares about the problem you just described. Did you watch New Alaska Daily?
Yes, I did.
Yeah, that show revolved around the problem of the legal system's indifference toward the missing Native Americans. That was the main plot running through the episodes.
Yeah, and but it's not just the institutions. The institutions, the media don't care for one reason. The majority of the public don't care.
No, I know, but what I was driving at is, it was ABC. ABC had this show. They had a Oscar-winning actress playing the lead. They had a pretty good cast, and so they put the little blurb up there about all the missing Native Americans at the end of each show. And in my mind, I think, oh, okay, I'm going to start seeing news stories, because let's face it, the nightly news is just as much there to promote products as it is to bring the news, probably even more so. So I was thinking, oh, they're going to promote this series by doing specials on this problem and so on and so forth. And I think I saw one story, and it was on a local channel here in Washington State. So to me, that very loudly said that nobody cares.
See, the sad aspect of it is that I've been involved in a case, and I have to be careful what details are released, but one of the cases that I was involved with ended up being a serial killer. And this guy was inviting his victims out into the woods to say, hey, I need to dig up this treasure. And they would dig a hole and they'd kill them and bury them in it. And he made the mistake of doing this 4 times in a row in a week in the same spot. And the unhoused population, to use the politically correct phraseology, the bums in the local neighborhood was like, yeah, no, I keep hearing shots fired over there and people don't show up, and there's these new mounds. This is weird. I just want to get my drugs and go, man. I don't want to be involved in this. And so they called it in. And so we show up hey, yeah, potential evidence site. Can you look for this missing person? We find not the person we're looking for. And then we find the next person we're not looking for. And then we find the third person we're not looking for. And on the fourth person that we're actually looking for is actually the person we're looking for. You're like, yeah, we might have a serial killer here. And it's very obviously drug related. Now what? And the detectives are like, yeah, we're not surprised. And we think we know who it is. And this is bullshit. And we all agree. Like, our culture is like, if you see something, say something. Duh. The unhoused people were saying something because they saw stuff for weeks and nobody believed them. And then suddenly you find one burial site, like, oh my God, there's a body. Wait, there's like 5 other reports for the same location? What the hell? Like, here's the thing. My 2 cents. Our law enforcement is so buried in the minutia of every single minor incident they ever encounter. They can't even complete the paperwork for the small stuff, let alone the big things they encounter. And when our detectives encounter the big things, their hands are bound because they can't collect the evidence. They can't integrate the people. They can't reach out to the communities and try to find something more. And at the end of the day, when the tribe comes along and says, we're missing 3 of our elders, what do? And we say, we think we found one. And it's not their fault. There is no repercussions. There's no resources. There's no assets. It's literally volunteers giving of their time to come out and find these people. And our prosecutors are like, our hands are tied. We can't charge them. We can't go after them. All we can do is slap their hands. And it's frustrating because these are criminals. It's obvious. These people are bad. Our communities would rise up and with pitchforks on fire and say, this person is bad. But our prosecutors and our government are like, yeah, we can't do anything. We got too much backlog. We're not going to charge them. We're moving on. To me, that is the most disappointing aspect of this, is that our people with passion for finding the missing, to bring them home, to give the families closure, and yet the cases involved around them, unrelated to these individuals. It's not like this person's like, I wanted to go invest in the drug trade because that's what I want to do as a human. No, they were just on the periphery. They were a side aspect of this underlying case. They happened to be an unwanted witness, and they got killed for it. But nobody's investing in closing their cases. Nobody's investing in finding these perpetrators. And even if we know who the perps are, nobody's investing in closing their cases, seeing them through the judicial system, and bringing justice to the victims. That is the most frustrating aspect of being a volunteer in this environment, is I can give all of my time and I will never make even a small dent in these communities. I can have all the passion in the world. I can have all of the antipathy. I can be bawling out my eyes on a Wednesday night wishing I could help this family, and everything I do will never make a change. Because our government won't invest in what we need. Because they can't. The federal government doesn't want to.
Yeah.
Anyway, thank you for allowing my 2 cents of venting and telling you all my perspective. You are amazing, and I'm happy to be part of this community. Have a great evening.
Yeah, you too. Thank you for coming up and for talking about that. Again, I echo some of the same things that you're saying. Much worse with the on the reservations and Native American communities. But I've been working in Seattle, in a building in Seattle now for 7 years, and when I first moved out to Washington State, I used to go up to Seattle all the time because of the Chinatown area. And then after about 5 years out here, I stopped because too many car break-ins, too many it was just going downhill. For the last 7 years, the city has really gone downhill, and it's really gone downhill because this permissive attitude of the city government, the fact that they've vilified the police since at least 2000. Then the whole quote peaceful protests where they were lighting buildings on fire and shooting people, and now they can't do police chases. I mean, I've said to a couple of officers that I deal with that I could not do their jobs. I could not deal with the rules of engagement that they have, which is basically just watch things happen. It sounds like Virgo has a far more direct connection with these situations than I have. I fortunately, I'm in a fortunate position. I can just sit and be an armchair quarterback like so many other people. But the problem with Seattle is that they keep voting these people in, and that's what I don't get. I don't understand. In the case of what Virgo's describing, the people aren't doing it to themselves, but the citizens of Seattle, the citizens of King County, they seem to want more open air drug markets, and they seem to want more homeless camps that go up in flames because of the open air drug use. They seem to want to have more random shootings in the streets. So that's my rant. Nowhere near as eloquent and as informed as Virgo, but I agree with everything he said, because I see it a couple steps removed. But yeah.
So to answer a couple questions in the chat, and also chat, you are amazing. Thank you for contributing.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, rock. I do not fit in the role as an investigator. Within the volunteering that I do, I am considered to be an asset of an investigator, which is a very thin line to travel. I'm not. If you watch TV, you watch CSI, I'm not the guy who goes along and is like, oh, I found evidence, I'm going to grab that thing and manipulate it and show it and take pictures of it and do stuff. Like, no, it's like, if I find evidence, I'm like, oh, I found evidence, and you stop, you don't touch, you wait for the detective to show up, and then they take over the scene. Volunteering in our space and within the organizations that I work is a classic that goes back to the Green River Killer and some of the historical aspects of what volunteers have been able to do with these organizations in supporting the detectives and the crime scene analysts and the real heroes of these investigations that we do. I am a small cog. I am not trying to put myself on a pedestal. I'm just a piece of the case. I am blessed in knowing the people who are the true detectives, the people who step up and work with, as Liz says, there are universities and colleges to create the new technologies and the new learnings that go into how do I investigate, document, and recreate the scene of an incident. I am blessed, and then I am one very small piece of that cog, and I do not try to inflate more than what I am. It's small and minute. But I am also blessed to know some amazing detectives and investigators who have international, I'm not even exaggerating, international expertise around being able to go to organizations and say, here's what I know. Here's what I can teach. I will teach your local people to know what I know. They will become the experts, and they will find the things, and they will close your cases. It's not about the expert from Dover coming in and say, I will find all your shit and make your case. No, it's I will train your local people to become the experts they need to be to close their own cases. And that to me is the greatest joy you could ever bring to this kind of scenario. It is frustrating to me as a citizen of Washington, and I will clearly say of King County, that we have limited ourselves in terms of the cases that our law enforcement can go after, the drug use, the paraphernalia, the even just like, let's say I steal a car from my next door neighbor and I go running off down the freeway at 100 miles an hour. Local law enforcement can't chase me, legally cannot chase me for that stealing of a car and running away. We as a state and our local government and our agencies have handcuffed ourselves with Chili's torture cuffs of, I can't chase that, so they're going to get away scot-free, and they know it. The guy who stole all the power tools out of my carport knows he's never going to get caught. I have a clear picture of his license plate, and we all know that plate's stolen. We know that car's stolen. All the stuff he got from me is gone. I will never see that again. The aspect is, how can I help my law enforcement catch them if they can? And even if they do, the prosecutor won't even file charges. Like, at the end of the day, I can be the best citizen I can be. I can volunteer with all the groups that I volunteer with. I can do my utmost. The next guy over can be an asshole, and it counterbalances everything. Like, what does it take for us collectively to stand up and say, we're above this shit? I'm better than this. I can show my community in whatever country I'm in that being good is better than everything else. Yeah, that's where we're gonna have to get to before things change at all. That's my 2 cents.
Yeah. Bravo. That's all I can say. That yes, 100%. I love you guys. Actually, back when I was in a place where I was hiring people, I was get people. I was looking for people more smarter. I talk English real good. More smart. Gotta do it again. Smarter than I am, more articulate than I am. And Virgo, yeah, thank you for coming by and hanging out, because you said things I think, and you said them much more clearly and much more emphatically. And yeah, thanks. And yeah, Sue, you walked in and we're kind of being serious for once around here. So I don't know if you came on a good night or a bad night, but this is actually another issue. The short staffing is it's pretty horrible, and there's also the problem with a lot of institutional knowledge and experience was lost during the whole COVID situation, because they were firing or forcing into retirement people who didn't want to get the COVID shot, even if they could present valid religious grounds. They just denied them, period. So that's another issue, at least in this area here. I don't know about everywhere else, but around here, real problems with the whole short staffing. And yeah. So Dan muted himself. What's up?
No, I'm just been listening. All I can think, though, is it comes down to the same problem. General public doesn't give a shit.
Yeah. Well, I had to really bite my tongue in a meeting last week, I think it was, where I was sitting across the table from someone that had been very pro Black Lives Matter and very anti-police and was angry with me for saying they're rioters, they're not protesters. The building we are inside right now is on fire. They're not protesters. and this person was going on about how the city has gone to hell and they need to do more. The police need to do more, and they need to just clear these people out. And I'm saying that, wait, you're one of the people that brought us here, so don't pretend that you suddenly didn't have a part in it. Got in an argument with somebody else about that, which I was glad that I didn't have to. I could just sit back and watch them argue. But let's see.
Yeah, but you think about it. Your shortages of police, your shortages of resources, your shortages of most things. There's no reason for them. You don't have a shortage of money. You don't have a shortage of people. Just the general public doesn't give a shit. It'll pretend it does for 5 minutes to make itself feel better.
Mm-hmm.
But then in 5 minutes' time, the next shiny items come along, or the next TV show, or the next celebrity's been screwing some other celebrity bollocks will come along, and they don't give a shit.
Yeah.
I think the I don't give a shit is oversimplification. I think there's a lot of apathy and willingness to put forth the effort that would take to solve some of these problems because there are easier things to do.
No, it's not. Look, solving most of these problems requires no effort whatsoever from the general public. None. But they can't even be asked to make it clear they want the problem solved.
Yes, but that's because they think that the problem is so big that it can't be solved.
That, and want to take a look at them, how many of them think, it's not happening in my backyard, I don't care.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They don't give a shit. It's not happening to them.
Right.
See, Jose, Delete Laws is right in some ways. Except he's got the battery in backwards. All these frauditors all hate the police, think the police is a waste of time, want the police done away with, right up until they need the police. Then they're the first ones screaming for the police to come because someone touched their camera.
Yeah. Well, it's like the guy in the meeting. The police need to do more. Who was the same guy there saying, disband the police, defund the police.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, the same thing with the they're all nonviolent until you get too close to them, and then they'll want to pepper spray you.
Yeah. Yeah.
I saw one earlier. It was hilarious. A video on YouTube. There's this woman who gets caught by one of the employees in the shop shoplifting clothes, and the employee's trying to take the clothes off her. She's screaming and pepper spraying the employee.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's something else too that is, at least in this area here, the large organized retail theft rings. I mean, even back during the peaceful protests, anyone that was paying attention could see that the quote looting and rioting was not that. They were literally just breaking in and carting off stuff. It wasn't the Rodney King situation where, they were kind of stealing big screen TVs and stuff at random. This was organized from the get-go, and it's only been expanding, getting more organized. Hate to sound like a conspiracy theorist, but it's right there. So what is Joe Exotic's platform? We're going to vote for him? Continue to website. Vote Joe Exotic. What do you have to lose? Actually, that. What's his platform?
Holy shit. How much money has he raised? Did it say on that GoFundMe?
I clicked away from it too fast. Let's see. GoFundMe. Let's see what it says. He has a goal of 20,875.
I thought it had raised that for a minute. I was going to say, fucking hell.
Oh, no, that's his gold. Yeah, don't know how much he's raised. Doesn't say yet. Doesn't say. And if I donate, I probably could find out. But you know what? I'm not going to donate. Oh, it pops open your windows when I click. So, but at least the platform is here. So what's his platform? Keep your right to life and liberty in the pursuit of happiness. Free America from the controlling right and left. Live how you want. Love who you want. And be what you want without hurting others. Well, so far, so good. When you allow the government to tell you what you can and can't do with your own body, you no longer own yourselves. And before you vote, think about how you want to be controlled. Actually, you know what? I think I probably should put up the grumpy old Gits thumbnail with this one, given the conversations we've been having. Let's see. He wants to do prison reform.
Oh, that's a surprise.
See, it might shock some people to know that the requirements for a chimp in the zoo are better than the requirements for a human in American prison. Well, the chimp in the zoo didn't do something to land himself there, but
what we ought to do is treat him like he treated his tigers.
I was going to say, isn't he kind of in prison for inhumane treatment of animals is one of the charges?
Yes.
Right. Criminal justice reform. One of the problems in this country is not one set is... One of the problems with crime in this country is not one set's examples. The problem with crime in this country is not one set's examples.
I think that's supposed to be no one set's examples.
Oh, okay. No, yeah, right. No one set's examples. Yeah. I mean, just look at our president and our elected officials at how they are always under investigation, always caught lying or cheating somewhere. We need to start by cleaning out our system from the inside out. System is not built on fairness or anything moral. Take a look at Hollywood and how much they get away with things. This is like this stream of consciousness, this paragraph, isn't it?
It's complete bollocks.
Yeah. All right, Joe. I don't know. Ending complete immunity.
Wait, go up a bit.
Okay.
Stop there. I have to ask myself every day what it is about child molesters and sex offenders that our system likes so much that they serve less time than anyone, even white-collar crime people. Is he a fucking idiot?
Yes. Yes.
Yes. Yes, he is.
You apparently have never watched his show.
No, good God, no. Why would I want to do that?
Okay. Well, then, yes, he is a complete idiot.
Amen, Carrie. Absolutely true. Well, let's see what else he has to say here. So this putting sex offenders in jail for less than white collar crime. This must be stopped dead in its tracks. Putting people in jail for ghost dope. Ghost dope? What's ghost dope? Lying on the stand investigations just to make a conviction. I keep hearing this. These people, well, maybe I'm just lucky. I have not met these hordes and hordes of prosecutors supposedly are out there. We are getting dangerous people out. That the victims, we are letting the dangerous people out that have victims, and we're letting people that don't really hurt anyone in putting them in prison. I don't know.
Depends what you mean by corrupt prosecutors.
Well, usually when I hear people say things like they're just putting them in jail investigations just to, quote, make a conviction.
Prosecutors do have a habit of, shall we say, railroading people into taking plea deals.
Well, that is the system, yeah.
Just to make their conviction rates look better so that they can go stand on them to get another election out of the way.
But if the judge is doing their job, then they should be able to determine whether this person is really accepting the plea deal because they're guilty or not. But that's the problem.
The judges can't because there aren't enough of them because Mitch McConnell's kept about 300 vacant seats.
Yeah.
So you're short on judges. So the judges haven't got the time. You've got the public defender's office that is funded on about $3 a year.
Yeah, that's a lot of people actually say, I'm going to stand up for the public defenders here at this point because
it's not their fault. They're just screwed. They're not given enough money or time.
Because
resources. Yeah.
Again, I'm a couple steps removed, but I see some really smart public defenders, and I see them work very hard for their clients. In fact, just a few months ago, I saw a couple of them get a guy off that I'm absolutely 100% certain was going to be convicted. I have no opinion whether the guy was innocent or guilty. It just looked like a solid case. And these two pulled a rabbit out of their hat, and the guy got off. So, but here, a public defender should be a private attorney on rotation to take a case paid by the government, not a public lawyer that doesn't give a rat's ass if you win or lose. And that's what offends me about the public defenders, because I have yet to see one that, quote, doesn't give a rat's ass whether they win or lose.
There are some of them. Yeah. But the reason they don't give a rat's ass, they've got about 5 minutes to deal with your case till they have to deal with the next one.
Yeah.
They're overworked, underpaid, and it's farcical. How come we can spend $30 million on the DA's office, but we can't spend more than $3 on the opposing side? That's the problem. It's that disparity of, we'll fund the DA up the yin-yang, but we won't give nothing to the opposing side. It makes a mockery of innocent till proven guilty.
Okay, here's my rant. That's the problem. We don't have a presumption of innocence. Everyone who goes to court is presumed guilty, and they have to prove their innocence, and it's the other way around. So if somebody gets off because the state didn't prove their case, that it isn't that the state didn't prove their case and the guy is actually innocent. It's he had a good lawyer, and they confused the jury, and because we know he did it because I saw it on TV when they arrested him.
So you talk about the public and what the public thinks and believes.
Yes, I'm talking about our society and how our society thinks, right?
Yeah.
The thing that kills me about Chili's and these other frauditors' idea of what we need is more cameras and we need access to these cameras is you're going to make what is already a mockery of innocent until proven guilty even worse, because you're going to say, well, I saw him on camera, so he must have done it. Like it's what we claim our system of justice is in reality and in fact is not the way that it is. You are guilty until you prove your innocence. So if you have a guy who goes through trial, says, I don't want to testify because you didn't prove your case, and then gets off, then it's, he had a slick lawyer, and, his lawyer, did some shenanigans and got him off. Can't be, he's not guilty. Has to be somewhere they screwed up because the prosecutor wouldn't have charged him if he wasn't guilty. Like we're so backwards in how we look at it. That's my rant.
Yeah. Well,
the other one, of course, is that the other thing in criminal justice that is a disgrace, and every judge, prosecutor, and everyone involved in criminal justice should hang their head in shame, is cash bails. Of all the corrupt, backwards, evil systems on the planet, there's the biggest. You literally have people spending 4 years in prison because they can't afford the cash bail to be found innocent at trial. Yes. But they've had to spend 4 years in prison to do that.
Right.
No compensation for that.
Yeah, and their life's completely ruined because they can't. Now they're never going to get a job because well, you were held that long.
And the only reason they're held that long because they're poor.
Right.
That's disgusting.
Yes.
I mean, what was it? There was one that came to light the other month. A guy spent 4.5 years in prison waiting trial. To be fined when found guilty, $85. That's all that the punishment was. But because they didn't have the $100 for the cash bail, they spent 4.5 years in prison waiting trial.
Right.
Now tell me that's justice.
Well, again, I'm in two minds. I can't disagree with what you're saying, but I also over and over see people that should be held in jail, and they walk out because they pay that bail, and then they're back in a little later because they didn't make the court dates, because the bail is paid. That's the insurance in theory that they should show up for their court date so they can get the money back. They don't. They skip the bail. They go out and because they're either too smart or too stupid. I mean, either too stupid or too criminal minded or just too lazy to not do more criminal stuff. So they're back in jail again. Now the bail is higher because they skipped on a court date. And so about the guy that was in couldn't afford the $100, did he have? I always want more background just because of what I see.
He was homeless.
And the bail, yeah.
He was homeless and was just awaiting being done for trespass because he'd slept somewhere he shouldn't do.
Well, 4 years for that.
That's how long it took for it to get before the judge.
Was that in Illinois, or where was this? Do you know?
I think it was Atlanta, and it kept getting bumped down the order because more important things would appear, so that it would get kicked down the order.
Yeah, is it? There are two states that have real big problems with people sitting waiting for arraignment for like months and months and months. I think it's Georgia, Illinois. Is that right?
Yeah.
I know Georgia for sure.
Okay.
But he wasn't waiting arraignment. He'd already been arraigned. It was a cash bail. But he just couldn't afford the cash bail.
That is interesting
this is
because
the problem. The cash bail system is crap.
Yeah.
It's awful. It doesn't matter whether you're rich or poor. It's awful. Like you said, if you're rich, even though you should be in prison, you can get out.
Yeah. But
Other
I do know
countries don't have a cash bail system. They judge you about whether you're a risk to fucking society if they let you out on bail.
Well, that's what it's supposed to be.
Yeah, they're supposed to. There is a concept of unaffordable bail. A judge sets the bail ridiculously high because they're a danger to society and they don't want them out, but they have to have some sort of bail. This guy with the $100 bail, maybe it's just that where he was, but I know in this area there's a couple of nonprofits that will bail people out. So maybe no one just reached out to him, or maybe it sounds like that guy got screwed by the system.
Yeah, but it happens too often.
Oh, especially the poor.
You can still have people offered bail, but do away with the money part of the bail. You assess them. Is it a risk to society to let them out on bail? These are the conditions of the bail. They can't drink, they can't do this, whatever. These are the conditions. Is it a risk to society to let them out? No? Right, let them out. Are they a risk to society? Yes. Well, fine, they ain't getting out.
Well,
Here's part of
I
my
would vote for that
confusion with
standard.
this when I hear that, Dan, is what's the bail part of it? Because here bail is money.
Yeah, that's only there that's the money. Here, what bail means is, yeah, you're allowed out, but there are conditions. You must follow these conditions. If you don't, we're going to recall you to prison.
Okay.
Now, those conditions can be anything from like, you can't drink, you can't drive, you can't go within 500 yards of this property, or you can't go to this city.
Yep. There's actually a judge, one of those judges that stream on YouTube that makes me smile, just because almost every person that she lets out on personal recognizance or on bail, one of the terms is they can't come to the county that she's in. They have to stay away. They can only come in for the trial. Other than that, do not come to whatever county it is that she's in. But yeah, it's like.
Are you talking about Manning in Georgia?
Yes, it's Manning.
Stay out of Fulton County.
Yeah, that's the one. That's the one.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let's see. Carrie has personal experience with this problem. My son was released on a $500 bond, but that was only to be paid if he stuffed up. Yeah. It was proven that he didn't do anything, so the case was completely dropped. And if he did his court appearances, the bond came back to you.
No. The way Kerry's talking about it is you never had to pay the 500 bond. You only have to pay it if he screwed up.
Okay. All right. Oh, yeah. If I could read English, I would know, because it says that black and white, literally.
That's the Australian system. They have cash in their bonds. However, you only pay it if you break your terms.
Yeah. I misread
so
it.
So it doesn't penalize people for being poor. The US system penalizes people for being poor.
Yeah, that probably is a better system. That you get released, you do something again, you're back in jail, you owe the whatever the bond was, the bail was, and then you're sitting there till the trial.
Yeah, I think the last thing they worked out, it's somewhere between 200,000 and 400,000 people who are imprisoned because they can't afford bail. This isn't an insignificant problem.
But again, It goes back to, we think they're guilty, so we don't have sympathy for them being in jail because they can't afford bail, because they wouldn't be in jail if they hadn't committed the crime.
Yeah. Because we've all been brainwashed by TV to think that way.
Right.
Yeah, that's pretty standard. You go to a bond agent. That's pretty standard. Yeah.
Mind you, one of the disgusting things is that I've found out in the US that really pisses me off. You go to trial, you're found innocent, you still have to pay court costs. If you want those costs back, you have to sue to get that money back.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Don't get me started on those kinds of things. That leads into asset forfeiture.
Civil asset forfeiture.
That's the worst. Oh. That is the worst.
Yeah. Where you have to prove that your whatever did not commit a crime or was involved in the committing of a crime.
Usually money. And even if you do prove it, you can't get it back because the people that took it from you gave it to somebody else, usually the federal government, and then the federal government takes it and won't give it back because, they didn't seize it in the first place.
Oh, so we're talking about civil
Civil asset forfeiture, yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay,
Where they
I'm
can
going
just come and rob your shit, and then you have to prove that it wasn't anything to do with the crime. They don't have to prove anything.
Yeah. I'm going to go visit my child in Atlanta in a couple of weeks, right? I want to go buy a car, for example. So I want to take $20,000 cash with me. I get pulled over in Arkansas for speeding, which is actually probably a real possibility.
Well, it's Arkansas. I can understand why you want to get in and out as quickly as possible.
Well, yeah.
Yeah. Why are you carrying $20,000 in cash around?
Yes,
That would be the
but
question.
even if I can prove it, right? Even if I could say, okay, here's the ad for the car. Here's my bank statement saying I withdrew this money. It's my money. They can still take my $20,000. It doesn't matter that I can prove that I have a legitimate purpose for it. Plus, it's not illegal to carry cash. There's no crime. There's nothing in the books that says you can't carry X amount of cash. If I haven't committed a crime, why are you taking my stuff? Because they can. It's $20,000 cash. They get to keep 80% of it. They turn it over to the federal government.
No,
And then Phil has to go to court to prove that money was not the result of crime.
And
hang on, it gets better than this. He has to prove that money will not be used in the future to cause crime.
Right. And it's going to cost me way more than $20,000 to do this.
Mm-hmm.
Right. So I lost $20,000. Now I'm out of pocket to get it back. I'm going to spend way more than that in order to get it back. And I can't recoup that cost to me to get it back from anybody. Like that is the worst system.
And he's very unlikely to get it back because do you want to prove that your money will never be used in the future to be involved in crime?
Or prove that the money that the bank gave me wasn't involved in a crime. How would I ever possibly do that?
Because it's not you that's been accused of anything. It's the money that's been accused of it.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. Yeah, right.
Because there was a famous ludicrous one where they used civil asset forfeiture to take somebody's couch.
Okay.
Yeah, the couch ended up in the police station. They used it in their break room.
Yeah. So if the government wants to seize your property, right? They should prove that you actually committed a crime and that the money was involved in said crime.
Yeah. Yeah, I have things to say about this, but I actually can't because I don't want to get too much into, real world stuff, if you know what I mean.
Yeah. But if you want to know, if your listeners want to know about civil asset forfeiture, the best one to watch is John Oliver did a brilliant one on it. It is hilarious and will educate you quite tremendously about it.
And if you want another one on YouTube, who's somewhat adjacent to our community, Steve Leto, he covers it a lot. Leto's Law.
Oh yeah, he's one of those lawyers that has a channel.
Yes.
Yeah.
But he covers civil asset forfeiture issues. He's actually a lemon law lawyer, but he talks about a lot. Civil asset forfeiture is a big deal with him.
Monty Python does not warp people. It makes them whole, makes them rise above the hoi polloi. That's my story, and I'm sticking to it.
I would agree with that.
Just in case somebody doesn't know where the hell that suddenly came from. Civil forfeiture in the United States.
Steve can't talk about these things because he's in the CIA. So.
Yeah.
Steve can't talk about these things because He's got the couch.
And my money.
All right. Thank you guys for coming. That's enough for tonight. We'll see you next time.
Although if he ever gets a nice box of cigars, we'll all come and visit him.
Yeah. Here's an interesting little piece of trivia that is completely out of context, but it came up. I put in civil fort. I'm looking for the couch story, and this came up instead. Civil forfeiture in the United States has a history dating back several hundred years, with roots in British maritime law. So I would imagine that sovereign
Fucking
citizens
Brits.
must love civil forfeiture laws.
Yeah, it has its roots in it, but that's slightly misleading.
Oh, yeah, I know. Like I said, it's out of context.
The roots come from the prize money system, where if we took another country's ship of war or a pirate ship or anything like that, or another country's ship if we were at war with it, we could sell it at a special auction and the crew all got a share of the money. But that's a little bit different from how it is these days.
Oh, yeah.
Yes. Yeah. And Jimmy, you asked how is it legal? It started out as a weapon to be used on the war on drugs, right? So if I'm a police officer and I pull over a guy and he's suspected of dealing and he has a whole bunch of cash.
Phil?
Yes.
I thought it was actually prohibition where that one started.
Not civil asset forfeiture. It may have started with prohibition, but it started with, we have these guys that we know are criminals. They have large amounts of cash. That cash obviously is illegal because, well, they're criminals. So we'll just go ahead and take that cash because we want to stop funding that activity. And then the government came along and said, ooh, here's a way we can get extra money that we don't have to use for any purpose because it wasn't appropriated by Congress, and we can use it for other stuff. And the courts have actually upheld civil asset forfeiture. There's finally some breaking in the dam where a couple federal courts have gone, yeah, no, you haven't proven the money is related to anything illegal, because they've pulled over people who are doing things like buying cars.
Yeah.
Famous case where a guy, $65,000, right, has all of his bank statements, has a purchase order. All he was doing was simply driving along. I think he had it was a traffic infraction, speeding, I'll say, because I don't remember what it was some minor traffic infraction. They found large amounts of cash. He had a plausible story why he had the cash, and yet they still took it. And he's actually sued and is winning.
Is that the guy that was actually, he had some kind of company?
Yes.
And he had to the reason he was speeding was because he had to get the money to the people he was ordering this stuff off by certain time, or he wouldn't get the stuff he wanted and needed on time to be able to complete his shipment out to his client.
Yeah. Okay. But he had bank statements. He had, everything is legit, right? But again, carrying cash isn't illegal.
No, not unless you're carrying it out of the country. That's the only place there are restrictions.
Right. He's traveling within the country, and so it's unrelated to his traffic infraction. It's unrelated to anything else, yet they just seized this large amount of money.
And even then, it's a gray area, even taking out of the country. It's not strictly illegal, but it's also not strictly legal either.
There's another case, I think it's in Oregon, where there is a armored car company that takes cash from a illegal pot growing business. and they drive through this one particular county because that's the only way they can get to from the client to the bank. And the armored car is pulled over by the county, and the county seizes the cash under civil asset forfeiture. They're robbing. If you really want road pirates, they're robbing an armored car.
Yep.
So
And
pot
it's
is illegal
legal.
in that.
And it's
in that
legal,
county?
and it's just happened several times.
Well, no, I'm saying it's legal in the neighboring county, but illegal in the county they're driving through.
No.
No, it's drug money, right? Because pot is illegal federally, right?
That's why you
Yeah.
can't pay federal income tax.
Yeah, so they're seizing the cash because it's drug money, quote unquote.
I mean, I see the logic, but it doesn't really hold up when you're looking at state versus federal.
Because it's they seize it under federal law.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, the county sheriff sees it under federal law. So the county sheriff gets to keep 80% of the cash, or keep 20%. They send 80% to the feds.
Okay, that's going to be in court, and I'm sure that's going to get.
It has been several
times.
And each time it gets upheld. It's truly a fucked up system.
Yes. Yes. So if you really want injustice, civil asset forfeiture.
Oh yeah, no,
No, there's not a court
I would never.
order.
I would never support that sort of thing, but
No,
I don't.
Liz,
I don't see how they can do this with this armored truck because.
Liz, you have to get a court order to get the money back. You have to prove the money is innocent.
Yeah,
the money is guilty until proven innocent. It's the complete reverse of a human being.
Right. The drivers are not charged with a crime. No one is charged with a crime. They think the money is somehow ill-gotten, and so they're seizing the money. Drivers get let go. They don't get a ticket. There's nothing. They just take the money.
All they get is a nice receipt.
Oh,
I can't actually remember what the statute's called.
Yeah, I'll have to look that up. I don't remember.
But if you Google civil asset forfeiture, you'll find lots of it. Usually a lot of really pissed off people complaining how fucked up this system is.
Yeah.
Police forces have been using it for years to re-equip themselves and to supplement their budgets. Think about it from the sheriff's point of view. You can't get no money from the county, so you go do this a few times. You keep 20% of everything you take. And you can spend that money on anything you like. One of them famously was buying cappuccino machines and that for their break rooms. One of them had a margarita machine. I mean, shit. One of them actually seized, what the hell's it called? Those machines for ice rinks.
Oh,
Zamboni.
Zamboni?
Yeah.
Zamboni.
Yep. They seized a Zamboni machine. And in most cases, especially when it's from businesses, it's cheaper for them to do nothing than to try and get the money back.
Yeah.
Because no business is going to spend 100,000 to try and recoup 20,000.
Yeah, that's true. But, well, this is me being an idealist. I would hope that if that sheriff is elected, that whoever is going to run against him next will point this out to the citizenry and they will get him out of office because
They do.
Then the
And
new
then
guy
they do
coming
it.
in goes, oh yeah, now I see how he got that really nice Corvette. And for those who are asking, under the federal statute, it's 18 USC, subsect or sections 981, 983, 984, 985, as well as 21 USC 881. That's civil asset forfeiture under federal law.
Well, yeah, so yeah, that's, and again, I'm in a position here where I don't want to talk too much about this from my viewpoint because
Oh, don't worry. There are plenty of people in law enforcement and law enforcement adjacent who rail about this. You would not even make the top 5,000 who've railed about this.
No, I know. It's just the money situation and how it's handled. I guess I can say this. I have actually seen situations where it's blown my mind that they haven't seized money or at least put it in evidence when I'm just going over case paperwork, and tens of thousands of dollars get brought into the jail and get put in the inmate's inventories, the property, and it's a drug charge. I mean, they have him dealing or manufacturing, and then they have him with literally tens of thousands of dollars, and they don't make it part of their case. I've seen that happen on a number of occasions, which always surprises me. Once in a while, I've detectives will come back and will ask for the money, but of course at that point there's no point to it unless someone was at the jail had enough foresight to look at the paperwork and say, you know what, they might want this, so we're going to put this aside in the safe, and kind of sort of half-assedly maintain a chain of custody. But maybe I can't deny. No, it would be foolish to deny that there isn't corruption out there. But it's not everybody. It's not everywhere. And I know that falls back on the, not all cops are bad, that they like to beat you over the head with and then call you a cop sucker.
But not all of them are bad.
Right. Not even, no, it's a very small number. And yeah, I don't know. We'll have to have this conversation in private some night.
But the whole problem with civil asset forfeiture is it flies contrary to every tenet of the law.
Yes. Oh, yes. I trust me. I'm not saying that I like civil. Same thing. I personally also hate the eminent domain laws that are floating around out there. Government can take your property because they want to put a road there, or worse, they want to have a private developer put a mall where your house is, and so they can force you to sell it to them.
Eminent domain is another rabbit hole.
Yeah.
Now, there are versions of that exist around the world. Here it's called compulsory purchase, but you can fight it here. And you can win.
Yeah.
People have done. And it can't be used for things like a fucking mall. It can be used for things like, a police station, a government facility, a road, infrastructure, stuff like that. Yes. But it can't be used for just some bullshit fucking mall.
Yeah.
It's like, hell no. They can do it the way they're supposed to do it. They want to build a mall there, and that's the best location they found, and you own a bit of that land. You hold out until they give you so much money that you're going, oh yeah, okay, I'll sign. Which is how it's supposed to work. Under a capitalist system, that's what's supposed to happen. even with compulsory purchase, they have to pay way more than market value. Because there's part of compulsory purchase that takes into account your emotional attachment to that property. And literally, they pay you for that emotional attachment. There's even a mathematical formula they use to come out with their opening offer, which takes how long you've had it, whether you've had to scrimp and save to buy this, whether it's been your life's ambition and blah, blah. It takes into account all these factors when they work out their opening offer. Which, if anyone from the UK is listening, never, ever, ever, under any circumstances, accept their opening offer. Because a court will rule against them unless they've made at least 3 offers against you.
Oh,
and the offers have to go up.
Huh.
So never accept the first one.
Interesting.
Now, I am slightly over or glossing over a couple of things with civil asset forfeiture. There has to be a aspect of it is involved in criminal activity, or a suspicion. There's a suspicion that it's involved in criminal activity. So the armored car keeps getting robbed because they know it's coming from the pot grower. Growing pot is illegal federally, and therefore it is a violation of federal crime, and therefore it satisfies the standard of reasonable suspicion it's involved in a crime. The fact that it's legal in Oregon, notwithstanding. So,
but it doesn't even have to be the money that's been involved with the crime. This is how they get away with it. A lot of time, you've been pulled over because you were speeding or your tail light was out.
Yeah.
Therefore, you were committing a crime and you had that money with you. Therefore, it falls under the guidelines.
Yes.
It is a poorly written piece of shit legislation.
Oh yeah. Absolutely. But it is. There's a suspicion of criminal activity. So you're on an interstate highway. I'm on an interstate or a U.S. highway speeding through Arkansas. I have cash in my car. They pull me over. I give them a legitimate reason why I have the cash in the car. They seize my cash because, well, we have other people who transport drug money on this highway. So all they have to do is suspect them doing that. So they can just say, well, we think he's lying.
But they've even seized stuff from people's houses where they've no-knock raided the wrong fucking house.
Yes.
You know, they've had a warrant to go no-knock number 14 and they've gone and no-knock raided number 41. But then they've seized assets from number 41.
Yeah.
Which is just so fucked up.
Yeah. See, and the simplest reform to all of that is you can only seize the property after conviction.
Or requires a court order to seize it.
Yeah, see, I think the court order, combination of those two things, actually, I think would solve a lot of these problems.
You can get a court order to temporarily hold it to ensure no one can get rid of said asset.
Right.
And then
and you can only
if they're convicted...
You can only keep it if they're convicted.
Yeah.
Well, it is almost 2:00 my time, which means I need to start wrapping this up for real. This time, Carrie, I'm actually not trying to be funny.
Are you going to give us our numbers?
Oh, you want the numbers? Okay, yes. Let me see.
Yeah, we want to know the numbers.
Yes.
All right, let's see.
We're invested in this now. You've been doing it for so long. We're invested in this.
All right, let's take a look and see what we got then.
We want to take credit for your monetization, Steve.
I'll be happy to give you credit. Won't give you any money, but I'll give you credit. Let's see here. Let's share the screen so go into YouTube. Yeah, I am going to have to change this to Grumpy Old Gits, because this was actually a serious conversation. Oh, I spent some time on your guys' presidential questions. I haven't totally forgotten about that. I might still want to do that if you guys are still up for it.
Of course.
Sure.
I've just, since I got myself roped into training employees, it's been different.
You know, Steve. How about this? The fall might actually be a better time for that.
Yep, absolutely.
There's no rush.
But I just wanted to let you guys know that I'm still thinking about it.
Wow, over 500 hours this month so far. 28 days in the last 28 days.
Yeah, I know, it's gone way up. Yeah, it's almost twice of what it was the month before. So, but let's see what we have on the, oh my gosh, 400 views on that little thing. Huh.
Yeah.
I need to read more poems.
They're immensely popular.
That's actually what I originally was kind of started this to do, just to sort of read a couple of poems a week. And then I ran out of stuff. Oh my gosh. Last I looked at this, it was, I believe, it was like 2802 or 01, something like that. Now it's 2886. So I'm about 100 hours away. Holy crap.
Remember, that's without tonight's.
Right.
You're actually closer.
Yeah. My gosh.
If you go back to your dashboard and go to analytics.
Sumi and Carrie are both in places that don't exist. But Sumi lives with the hobbits, so that's a better fictitious place than Australia. Go to my dashboard, you say?
Yeah, if you click just click on analytics, it's easy.
Oh, analytics. Okay. Analytics.
And change it to lifetime.
Lifetime. Yep. I'm just barely above on the lifetime. Wow. Yay. So a couple of weeks.
No, it's just a matter of waiting for it to update.
Yeah.
In the next 48 hours, you should get the thing.
Woo-hoo.
Yay!
There we go. So the milestone does. Wait a minute. That's not right. Holy crap. I gained 6 subs today somehow.
Yeah. About it, 1,400.
That's astonishing. Yeah, I was at 1,400 at one point, and then 20, 30 people unsubscribed one day. And I think someone told me that happens when YouTube goes through and weeds out accounts. When people have multiple accounts and things like that.
Yep. Or accounts that have been too dormant for too long, and
yeah, because I looked at it and said, God, what did I say to piss that many people off? And no, it's just part of the system.
I blame Dan.
Hey, that's pretty good. Average percent viewed, 92%. That's pretty good.
Oh, for this poem? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, typically it's between 80 and 85, basically, or 79.3 and 85.9. So yes, people are actually watching me. I think this is a poem about Santa sitting on the beach during summertime, as I recall. Let's see. So that is, well, yeah. There we go. All right. Wow. So, actually, now I'm curious. What drove that up so much? Let me see. Content. Oh my. 500 people watched The Hitchhiker. Almost 600 people have watched The Hitchhiker.
Well, you did get told they were popular.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's 86 watch hours on its own.
Wow. What kind of percentage is that? Sorry, now I'm actually getting fascinated by this. Yeah. No, this. Okay. Oh wait, it was there on the analytics screen, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Or will it tell me here? I don't think it does.
Yeah, if you go to analytics off this.
Analytics.
I can't remember which category it is. Is it
+4 subscribers on this alone?
Yeah.
Wow. I should have been doing this a long time ago. Obviously.
I think it comes under.
Oh, here we go. Average percentage viewed, 10%. That's actually not bad. Yeah,
8% watch the whole lot. That's good.
Yeah.
Yeah, you see, those are going to be a big thing for you.
Yeah. Of course, the silent movie gets a lot fewer people watching, but that's to be expected. Okay. Wow. That is surprising. Oh, Carrie watched it. Did you watch the silent movie or the Hitchhiker? And which one did you like?
At those kind of rates, though, you're actually going to start pulling in, once you're monetized, advertisement revenue.
Yeah, I don't know if you can monetize these though, since they're movies.
Yes, you can.
Really?
Yeah.
Huh. Okay.
They're public domain, so you can pretty much do what you like with them.
Oh yeah, but I have to do transformative stuff, I'd imagine.
No. Why? No one owns the copyright, so how do you breach copyright by not doing transformative?
That is true. And actually, I'm being very careful about making sure that the ones I'm picking are fully public domain, because sometimes the silent movies, people will write a score for them, and the score is copyrighted. You have to be careful about that. Sure. So you watch The Hitchhiker. I hope you liked it, Carrie. Wait, I think I talked to you while you were watching it. Yes? No, you went to bed? I forget. I know there was like 3 or 4 people watching it at the time.
I unfortunately couldn't watch it.
A lot of people are watching it. Because you were guest on Kazakai's channel, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe it's a mistake of me to do these on Saturday afternoons at 2. Everybody's live on Saturday afternoons. But
I don't know.
But with all these people watching it after the fact, the time really doesn't matter. That's what YouTube even says. They said, premiere time.
Premiere, it doesn't matter when people are watching it.
Right.
It's a good boost to the ego if they're all watching it live. And it is. There's no point in any of us denying it. It freaking is. When you look down and you see those numbers, you're like, fucking hell.
Yeah. So Saturdays are bad for most people, Liz said. So what would be a good time or a good time of day? Because Saturdays I have the afternoons and Fridays I have the afternoons.
Sundays, most people put nothing out.
Yeah.
But then you're talking about a very different market from the market I'm familiar with.
Yeah. And of course, my week and day are just weird and skewed compared to...
Mind you, of course, you don't actually have to be there, remember?
Right. Yeah. That is true. I set up a premiere, and then it ends up being like it is with your guys' broadcast, where I'm there for 5 minutes and I'm gone for 2 hours, and I'm there for 2 minutes and I'm gone for 3. Yeah.
Well, I had the premiere that went out yesterday. The thing about the serious bit about the guns, about firearm and kids' deaths.
Uh-huh.
I wasn't there for the premiere.
Oh. Oh. Because part in my mind, actually, the premiere and the side chat, that's transformative content to some extent.
No, it doesn't count.
Doesn't count? Oh, damn it. But yeah,
But you don't need. You're perfectly safe. Your public domain stuff. You're perfectly safe.
I've just seen a couple channels that's all they had was public domain stuff, and then YouTube came along and said, no monetization for you. They didn't shut them down or take them away. They just said, nah, you don't have any original content, so you're done.
That's because their entire channel didn't have any original content. You're still doing these.
Yeah,
this is original content.
Yeah, that's actually in the back of my mind too. I'm thinking about that it's a balance between the variety of things.
Yeah.
So Carrie said he watched the whole, or she said she watched the whole thing. So I guess that means you liked it. Saturdays are bad for most people. I'm gonna put out another poll or something. See what I can figure out.
Cap, I've got to be fair. I stole one of your videos last night. That's why you got a bit of a jump in subscribers last night. The night before. Not the American show one, but we nicked Cap's update about Cyrax, sorry.
Oh. Well, I stole one of your videos, Cap, and restreamed it here, and well, you were here, so I guess that's hardly stealing it. But oh my gosh, so close.
It was part of our thing because Cap wants to get a few more subscribers, so
well, he puts out funny little videos. He deserves more subscribers.
He does. It's ridiculous how few he's got. Yeah. Content's far better than that.
Mm-hmm. Yes, it is.
But let's see, what does it say? Does it show your watch periods on the analytics?
Yes, it does. If you go into the main analytics category.
All right, let's go take a look.
I think it's audience it falls under.
All right, audience.
And scroll down. I think it's that one it falls under.
Except all of my new viewers returning is low according to YouTube. So, but the people that come back.
Go. When your viewers are on YouTube.
Oh, well, see, Saturday, actually, that's right there. That's 2:00.
That's in your prime thing.
Yeah. So, very many of your viewers are on YouTube. They're watching other things, though. They're watching Hezekiah. Who else goes on live Saturdays? See, I don't know because I'm usually doing other stuff.
Depending on the Saturday, we normally do, but that's much later.
Yeah.
Well, hang on, no, your time. I'm not sure. It's 6:30.
No, it is
Eastern. So.
Yeah, by the time you guys go on at 3:30 or 4:30 my time, whatever I'm doing is over. But yeah, funny thing is, the times that most convenient for me is when nobody's on. Well, except you guys. Sorry, you're not nobody. I didn't mean to make it sound that way, guys.
Yeah, you did.
You hurt Dan's feelings, Steve.
Suddenly, I lose 500 subscribers.
Wait till Dan does an expose on you, Steve.
Oh, that'd be funny. Yeah, Steve, we've got to do a collaborative expose on you. It can go out on both channels. We can have some fun with this.
And I can post it somewhere to cause drama.
Yeah, I don't know.
If you think Reaper was bad, wait till you find out about Steve Miller.
Yeah.
Wait about when you find out about what he did in that bondage suit in that pet store.
Yeah.
That tropical fish center has never been the same.
Oh my gosh.
You just know, though, someone at work would find it.
Yeah, that's what that. Yeah, that's why I'm sitting here thinking that no, let's not tempt fates. Let's not.
It would be hilarious. There is no way they would believe. Wow, that's
well, there is a way. There is a way. Yes, there is
hang
a
on,
way.
go back down, Phil. That's really. I wonder why that's odd.
What's wrong?
Go back down to the bottom of the page. Okay, look at the male-female rate. No,
Female
that's really weird.
Well.
No, because most of your side chat is female.
Oh, actually, that's
Carrie,
a good point.
Liz, Sumi, they're all females.
Yeah, the lives. Oh, let's see here. Let's widen it a bit. No, that's been pretty standard from the get-go. Interesting.
Try clicking on your lives, so it just shows your lives. Ah, that's better.
Okay, yeah, that's more balanced. That's more likely, more reflective of what we see. Well, let's see.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's more accurate. I was going to say, it just seemed a bit odd that, what the hell? 18%? Nah, that's a bit.
Let's see, videos. Yeah, and I imagine the videos are mostly about topics that be more interesting to guys, I guess, because they're about comics and I don't know, or shorts. Let's see. Well, the shorts are also mostly male. So.
Oh, look, shorts. You've also got some in the 18 to 24 age bracket, 4.7%.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, only old folks come.
Live. Well, no, be fair, you're live are middle-aged. 45 to 54, that's middle age.
I'm hot with Generation X. Gen Xers love me.
No old folks.
All Generation X. Carrie's a female last time she checked. That's good to know. You know, I've never scrolled down this far before.
Oh, there's some handy things.
Oh, let's see. 71% are in the United States. 0.4 in Australia. Look, Carrie, there you are. Interesting. And here you are, Dan.
Yep. But Becca will also show up under that. Well, in fact, that won't. I won't show up under that.
Oh?
No. I'm one of your North Korean viewers.
Oh, okay.
VPN.
You've got creative with where you set the location in the software.
It usually scares the crap out of people if they're going after you when they suddenly come across things in North Korea and they go, nope, and check out.
Yeah, AM to 6 p.m. That is, my time. That is what that graph told us.
It's just YouTube hasn't caught on to the fact that he's high most of the time.
All right, nobody is middle-aged, Dan. They all refuse.
Get over it, people. Time says you're full of shit. Get over it.
It's just a number, Dan. It's just a number. Age is just a number.
My people are watching. That makes me happy.
And death is just a state of mind. What's your point?
Right.
But when there are more numbers behind you than there are likely to be in front of you, then you're middle-aged.
Yes.
Okay, yeah, and I've done a lot more live streams than anything else, of course. Since the only 2 videos I've published in the last 28 days are those 2 films. Because I'm too lazy to make real videos. I don't deny it.
Hey, I've matched you in the last 28. No, I've done more videos than you in the last 28 days.
Yeah.
I've done 3.
Yes.
One of those was just basically, nah, fuck you, we're back. You lost, we won.
Yep.
Oh, and a couple of songs I threw in. But yeah, I literally did do a video like that. I forgot. That was fun.
Yeah. And also fun, some of the people that decided to gripe about it. I thought those were also fun.
Yes.
Come on, people. You've just pouring gasoline on the fire. That's what I don't get. Those number ratios.
56 strikes, I'm going to be, yeah.
Yeah.
Have to take
those number ratios
lap
are
or
different
2.
than what I see.
They are.
Just your audience, you mean, Cap? You have a different mix of viewers, I would assume. Yeah, I need to spend more time looking at this. Oh yeah, here are those.
Would you like something for comparison?
I've lost 7 viewers, but I've gained 14. So, hey, that's good. Oh yeah, sure. What are you talking about? Oh, we can make your numbers public too.
Yeah, I have no problem with it.
Okay.
It's showing. Yeah, can you spot the bit I wasn't allowed to do anything?
Yeah.
Arseholes.
Let me call up the right so I can see that larger. Hang on.
Oh, do you want me to zoom in?
No. I need to open up actually what people are seeing, so that it'll be bigger for me to see. There we go. And first, I need to also turn myself down so I don't echo. Oh, now I'm clicking on the side chat trying to emphasize it, which of course it doesn't do. Because I'm not controlling it.
Yeah, bastard. 20% of my viewers not subscribed. Arseholes. I have no younger people watch me. No one under 17 and no one under 24. Although I have apparently 18% of my viewers are officially fucking old. Because they're 65 plus.
Oh, 27% of mine are in the last month. Have yours on all time or just the last month?
Just the last month. Hang on. Lifetime.
Because, yeah, 27% of mine are 65 and older.
Oh, I sometimes have younger viewers, apparently. Because 2.4%.
Well, let me go to... But your audience is much bigger than mine. But the percentages, I guess, are percentages.
Yeah.
If I do lifetime, I kind of have an even spread of viewers. 13 to 17, 0.3%. 18 to 24, 10%. 25 to 34, 17. Then all of them are set some stripe of 17. All the rest categories all the way down. Interesting. But of late, I've been appealing to the older crowd. They're coming to watch the silent movies, I guess.
Well, if I go to shorts, it's pretty much even across the board.
Oh my!
Huh? I have a much younger crowd in videos.
Oh. This past week, if I go 7 days, 76% have been 65 years or older. 23% have been the Gen Xers. And nothing, in the other categories. So my audience is dying off, quite literally.
In the last 7 days, 57% of my audience has been Americans. What the hell? How is Indonesia showing up on the list? Fuck.
Coded friends.
VPN.
I don't know.
Oh God, Australia 1.9% across the board. Oh, I suppose I should be nicer to Australia. Flaming Canadians, they're far too polite for my show.
Actually, here's an interesting thing that I never would have thought possible. Last 7 days, people have been watching my videos with Arabic subtitles.
Huh.
There's all kinds of cool things here, aren't there?
Well, yeah.
Should look at these more often. They keep saying that you can learn how to grow your channel by looking at the analytics. But then you have to be able to understand what you're looking at.
Let's see. For my last 7 days, average view duration 40 minutes and 15 seconds.
Well, you have at least one viewer that drags your numbers way down. Although sometimes I forget to pause it or close it and it runs, and then you. So I guess that gets you some views. Interesting. It has unique viewers.
Oh yeah, you get unique viewers. Yeah. Returning viewers 930, unique viewers. Oh, go get out of it. 1,500.
Yeah. Oh, you can also sort by publication dates and which videos did best in their first week or first month or first whatever.
Yep. Oh, there's loads of information you can get.
Yeah.
It's all pretty much useless, but there's loads of information you can have.
Well, I suppose if you're trying to figure out what videos are going to get you the most revenue.
Oh, that's easy. You just go to content, and then you look right there at number of people who've viewed. Apparently, Jose de Castro's criminal history is quite popular, 1,448. Even after somebody pirated my work. Bastard.
Who would do such a thing? My God, have you gone out? You need to copyright strike that person.
Yeah, I definitely should.
Put them in their place. Jeez, what an asshole.
The interview with Kate from Troll Mafia, that was quite popular, 1,226.
Yeah, I'm curious how many I have siphoned off from you.
Chile being arrested is very popular too, 1,401.
Wow. Let's see. Was that the one? No. This is the one.
Yeah.
Thrilling views here, people. But yeah, no, now I really seriously have to go. I just enjoy this too much. I won't even leave you guys with a song tonight. We're just going to go ahead and call it. Dan sounds... Oh, here you go. The convicts are picking on you, Dan.
I know. They can't help it. The problem is that they're just not very good at it. Maybe that's why they get caught.
Although, I don't know, maybe she's right. I'll have to try that next time I'm watching. But anyhow, Dan, Phil, thank you guys for. Surrender Monkey comes in at the very end again, as always. Then YouTube made Dan super loud.
What?
Yeah, I don't know what that means.
I'm super loud? I didn't even say.
Alexa, set an alarm for 3 hours' time.
Ah. That is why I do not have one of those devices.
Oh, yeah. People
I know.
got so pissed about that. We got emails. We actually
really?
got complaint emails.
Oh, wow.
Because I know there are too many people that I know who would do stunts like that if they had the opportunity. So on that note, now you got everybody waking up in 3 hours. Let's pack it in. And thanks again, Dan. Are you guys on? You're not on today. You're on Thursday, though, right?
Yeah, we're not on today. No, we're taking the day off unless someone does something incredibly fucking bonehead stupid. And I mean bonehead stupid by frauditor standards.
That. Well,
like Chile getting himself arrested again or something.
I'm surprised that, well, maybe their audits will show up. They haven't been out auditing fireworks displays, but maybe they'll be showing up tomorrow.
I don't think they go near the firework displays in case people throw the fireworks at them.
Well, we did have somebody get arrested at a hot dog eating contest. So
yeah,
I heard about that.
The big, not just a hot dog eating contest,
right,
but the big one sponsored by Nathan's Hot Dogs that they have every year.
Right.
Yeah, and the same guy won it again. 13 years in a row now, something like that.
So, I think 17.
Wow.
Or he's won at 17, maybe 13 in a row.
I guess everybody needs a claim to fame. And thanks again, Surrender Monkey, Carrie, Sue, everybody, Liz. Appreciate you coming out. And
it would
Dan
make him popular in prison.
Oh my gosh. On that note, good night, all.
Night, all.
See you next time.
Good night.